My name is Adam Avrilla, and I would like to welcome you back to the Design Studio. This month is February, and it is all about love, and we are going to create this gorgeous arrangement that I guarantee you're going to fall in love with from this beautiful bouquet. February is all about love. I'm not saying your partner or your spouse. It could be friends, family. Love comes in so many different ways. So if you don't have a special someone in February, doesn't mean you can't do this design full of love, because you should love yourself first. So I'm gonna go through the components. So I had these heart pans. They're baking pans, and they're inexpensive. I got them online, so it wasn't terribly expensive. And so I just color enhanced them, AKA spray painted them with this glitter blast. So, gonna be honest with you, I did it inside. This shoots a lot of glitter. Do this outside. Otherwise your whole house is gonna be full of glitter. So get yourself 2 pans, color enhance them with the glitter blast. Gives you a nice little shimmer on there. Then I'm using a ramekin, but you could use whatever you wish, piece of styrofoam, just to put in there, because that's going to give me some support for the one on top. So that way it doesn't fall in on it, it'll sit on there. Okay? So then we have these 2 components ready. Next, the floral foam. You can get this online at a craft store, you can get it at your store where you're getting the bouquet. They'll sell you a brick. And I use a serrated knife. It cuts through the foam perfectly. So I am going to cut right down the middle, because this will give us the exact height we need, right? Because we want this to be flat. And then I'm going to cut it in pieces that fit into the vessels, nice and snug. And then we can go ahead and soak them. So, perfect. Now we have the pieces, soaking them. I put your preservative that you get into the water. I emptied that packet out, stirred it up, dissolved it, and you're gonna take your floral foam and you're just gonna let it sit there and sink down. You're gonna do that to all of the pieces and let it go naturally down. You never wanna pour water over them. You don't wanna push them into the water. You really just want them to absorb water, so that way it can give our fresh flowers all the water they need to live. So we're gonna do that to all the pieces. While that's doing, I'm just gonna clean this up, AKA throw it on the ground. All right, put this one in. All right, let's get the ramekin ready. So for the ramekin, because I don't want the top one to slide at all, I want it to stay pretty sturdy, I'm just going to take one of our Oasis U-Glue adhesive strips, just one of them, or you can use double-sided tape. That's perfectly fine, but I have these in the studio, so we're going to use one of these. And I am just going to put it right on the ramekin. It's nice and sticky. You don't want to get it wet. And then this, I can put off center and it'll stay in place. So I just have to turn it to the side. Do you see, this was full of water when I started, and now look at it. It is so empty. All of this water has been absorbed into that sponge. Power of camera, right? Now, before it was mechanics, now you see the beautiful bouquet laid out in front of you. So as you know, the first thing we do is we separate the flowers by type. Again, it's just easier so we can grab and we know what we have. And we're gonna start with our beautiful, look at all these. These are called magnums, aren't those gorgeous? And we're creating one of our pave designs, so we wanna keep them short, but we wanna make sure they go into the foam. And the trick with this one is don't hide the shape. Meaning, don't put this way over here and hide the shape. We want to see the hearts. We want to see the prettiness of that. So put these where they actually accent it instead of hide it. I think these are absolutely beautiful. And it's one of those long-lasting flowers. So we're going to group two there. We're going to put one down here by the rounded portion of the heart. Next, I'm going to add our Austrameria, but we're going to take your cutters and just cut all the blooms right off the stem. And then we have all these beautiful blooms that we can put around the design. And these are going to continue to open up and really sprout out. And if I am correct, I believe the name of these are actually Dirty Dancing, which is such a cool name for this month of love bouquet. We're going to do the same thing with the other. And as you can see, it's already starting to fill in, right? And this just reminds you that flowers are love. They evoke such a beautiful emotion. And love is what keeps us all going, right? Next, our lily. So our lily is not open, and we chose this one on purpose because I want to go back to a lot of the videos we talk about leaving that negative space around them. So I am going to do this to show you what I would do if the lily's not open and I'm designing. So I'm going to actually cut all this off like I did the Austral, so I have all these lily blooms. And now I know that this lily is going to open up to about here. So I'm going to put this right here because by tomorrow when I get up, this lily will open up in that whole space. And so I challenge you, if the lilies come and they're not exactly open, give yourself enough room in your design to allow those lilies to be magic. Carnations. If you get these gorgeous carnations in and they're just a little bit tight, if you just take your fingers and gently rub around them, you could push that carnation open. Won't damage it. Perfectly good. Next are mini carnations. Again, these are all going to be individual insertions, so I'm going to cut these off of the branch. And we're just going to put them throughout, dance them in. Keeping them grouped, grouping is much more visually powerful. So keep these grouped up. Do the same thing with the other. Did you see what I did there? I used my nail. Designers that have been doing this for a while, sometimes we'll just use our nail instead of a knife. It's not great for the flowers, I'm not going to lie to you, but that's what we do. It does give it a nice clean cut, but a cutter or a knife is better for your flowers and better for your manicure, so I don't recommend that. I just caught myself doing it. The stock flower, we're going to leave it a little bit long, and this can kind of dance over. It's a little bit more delicate, and all those blooms will open. So we're just going to dance them over the flowers. And add just a little bit of height, a little bit of happiness. And I'm cutting some of the lower blooms off, and I'm just putting them into the bouquet, into our beautiful design. We'll do the same thing with the other. Do you see how it's kind of stepping up? It's creating its own little moment. I'm going to get that. Do you see how that one bouquet has already filled this out? What do you think? All of those are going to open up. Now our roses. These are the two most beautiful roses, aren't they? We want these to shine. We want these to be the star of the design. So I'm going to take these I'm going to put them together right up front. You can put them in between the petals of your magnums. And that way, as these start to open, there's plenty of room for them to pop open and you're going to see the beautiness of them. Finally, I saved the foliage to last. Sometimes you want to put the foliage in first because it holds the flowers, but in a design like this, I save it to last because then I can cut all these pieces off. And if there's a little bit of foam showing anywhere, I could go ahead and use all of these to cover the mechanics up. So I'm just going to take these, put them around. They can be up above the other flowers a little bit, just to have that dancing moment, I call it, where they're dancing over the flowers. And it's okay if it's a flower like this that's flexible and movement, if it's by the lily, because the lily will be strong enough to push that out of its way to bloom out for you. And I just put these all around. Make sure you're getting them into the foam so they can drink water. These containers are great because then you can add water every day and it won't leak on your furniture. It'll keep everything nice and moist in there. Your flowers will always have water. And now all of our mechanics are covered, I believe. A couple more little pieces. Let's just pop these in here. Let me take a peek. Oh, it looks beautiful. Thank you for joining me this month. I hope your month is full of love and happiness and joy wherever you find it. Enjoy your beautiful design. Give it to a loved one. Remember, it's all about love. Thank you. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you next month.